Team Go Rockets boss Giovanni has now switched the lineup, and so of course it's got Shadow Latias at the end. If you're just looking at this title, I say of course. We're going to be tackling this from two different perspectives. One, maybe that sort of beginner account. It's actually in the mid-30s, but we're going from the angle of beginners. And then we have a level 41 account. And so level 41 on the right, mid-30s on the left. Each one of these, with the exception of Giratina, are going to be within the Great League level CP amounts. And so what that means is they're all going to be below 1500 CP. The Giratina is just amazing for taking on a Persian with Scratch. You always want to handle this Persian differently depending on which fast attack it has. If it has feint attack, you go with any of your fighting types that are worth their salt. I mean, Machamp is just going to make mincemeat of it, but then Persian will use Machamp like a paper shredder and shred it to pieces if it has Scratch. So again, you want to handle this differently depending on which fast attack it has. It's going to have all these scratch marks and stuff in front of your Pokemon. If it's Scratch, it's going to have just kind of one little like burst attack, and it maybe even makes like a little starburst shape around your Pokemon's head, just that general area. If it has feint attack, you're going to be able to tell. I mean, Scratch is a lot of like little damage, but really, really fast, and feint attack is just kind of that one burst damage, but a little bit more slowly. And so for the most part, we're going to kind of narrate what's going on the right. I think the one on the left, it's a little bit more self-explanatory, and again, that's the mid-30s, and then the one on the right is the level 41 account. And why this makes a difference is that Team Go Rockets Pokemon, their CP is going to scale based on your trainer level. So if you're 40 and above, you're going to be facing CP amounts that are much higher, for example, than, let's say, that account on the left, or especially somebody in the 20s, you know. And so if you're using Pokemon, this is kind of the point of me using Pokemon that are below the 1500 CP, is that you could put them up to like 2,000-3,000 and be doing a lot better if you have the same movesets. Now, I know a lot of people will complain if it's like, you know, oh, this didn't work. If you're doing what I'm kind of doing on screen, you have to address the Pokemon that Giovanni throws at you for one, but also their movesets. So here's a Rhyperior, for example, that has two different moves. One is going to be Mud Slap over there on the right side, and then on the left side, it's going to have Smackdown, and so you're facing either against a ground type attack or a rock type attack, and they do have some different resistances. And so if you're just like, wow, this Rhyperior is just whooping me up, but I use the same Pokemon that you did, well, it's going to be very different. Like, for instance, that Alolan Sandslash, it can be good against both of them, but the ground is actually going to hit it pretty hard, so you don't want to be hit by ground. And so the reason we were actually using it right there is we could time it out where the attack wouldn't hit us if we did basically 3 fast attacks and then use our charge, you know, which stops it. And so that's enough. You can basically hit it 3 times and the attack's animation won't play through until that 3rd time is over, basically. And so Rhyperior is going to take double super effective damage from grass and water. So if you're using a water type attack or a grass type attack, you are a little bit more set up for that advantage. And especially if it has Mud Slap, using a grass type is great because the grass is going to resist the ground of Mud Slap, and then it's also going to deal super effective, and so that's why we had Serperior in there. You are going to see that we're back out here with the Giratina going up against the Latias over there on the left. Now, for the right side, we mostly wanted our Alolan Sandslash. It was not only a Community Day Pokemon that recently happened as of the time of this uploading at least, but also it's just set up really well to go up against Latias. It's going to be able to resist all of the different fast attacks that Latias can send at you, and this is another one of those principles, right? Because Latias can use Dragon, for instance, on the left, but also on the right, it's using Psychic, and that's for the typing, of course, of its fast attack. That's usually what you're looking at, is what is its fast attack and what's the typing of that, and that's what you want to do. You want to try to resist or double resist if you can while dealing super effective damage. That's the key. The other key component, of course, is making use of the stun time, so you know, whenever you switch a Pokemon out or whenever there's a charge move, and it could be Team Go Rocket as well. If they use a charge move or if one of their Pokemon faints, you know, and they switch in a new one, there's going to be some stagnation time where they don't move at all. The Pokemon on Team Go Rocket side. Take advantage of that by charging up your energy. Don't use a charge attack right away, right after that happens. You know, wait until they're just about ready to attack again and then use your charge move. Because again, they stay still whenever you use a charge attack, so you use it, they're going to stand still for about 2-3 seconds, so then you use it again after that 2 or 3 seconds, because in that meantime, you're charging up energy for your next one. So for anybody that's new, aside from that, just make sure you have some really spammy combinations. That's why I put the move sets on screen right here and give you lots of different options. Speaking of, we're going to build out this playlist further, show how to defeat some of his other possibilities and things, and show other Pokemon. At the time of this recording, those aren't up yet, but if you are looking at this in the future, we will have a playlist here with an end screen on screen that you can click, and thanks for viewing.